recent days, with a little fanfare, Armenia's Constitutional Court made a landmark ruling on a new agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan. The so-called Border Delimitation and Demarcation Agreement was signed between Armenia and Azerbaijan 1 month ago. Then it was sent to the Constitutional Court in Armenia to determine whether it conforms with Armenia's legislation, a court already stacked with Pashinyan's appointees. Armenia's constitution includes its Declaration of Independence, which enshrines the foundations on which the republic was founded. Key among those, Armenia's role as security guarantor of Artsakh, or the Republic of Nagorno-Karabakh. Pashinyan's Armenia, of course, has already trampled on that legal responsibility in practice, when his government pulled the Armenian army from Artsakh and then refused to come to Artsakh's aid during the Azeri blockade and subsequent attack of 2023. Today we'll reveal the decision of the court and what it means. We'll take note of developments in the Middle East, which could have a ripple effect for Armenia. And last, we'll go to Holy Echmiadzin, where Catholicos Karagin II delivered a pointed message for the ruling authorities. Let's go to our correspondent in Yerevan, Nare Navasardian, for more. Welcome, Nare. Nare, you've had a look at the Constitutional Court's decision on the legality of this agreement. Tell us, what did the court decide, and what should the public know about the fine print?
So at first, it appears harmless enough. The part about essentially rejecting the Republic of Armenia's Declaration of Independence, it is, as you said, hidden. It's a very fine print. The idea behind it is that nothing outside of the Constitution should be considered constitutional. The RA Constitution famously makes a reference to the Declaration of Independence, which is the meatiest part of our legal foundations. This is where our national goals, this is where the very foundation of the Republic was laid. And a part of it was regarding Artsakh, about the reunification of Artsakh and Armenia. That's one thing, the content that Azerbaijan is most worried about. Then there's part about the special role of the Armenian Apostolic Church. Then there's the part about the Armenian diaspora. But of course, the part that's most important right now is the reference to the unification of Armenia and Artsakh. So essentially, they are trying to make sure that if there is ever an agreement signed with Azerbaijan, it will immediately go through the Constitutional Court without any problems. This means that Armenia is officially laying rest to any claims to Artsakh, and this is an entirely different state that we will be dealing with starting from today.
Now let's touch briefly on the Middle East, where the leader of the Shiite political and militant movement, Hezbollah, was assassinated over the weekend. Hezbollah may not be a national army, but it's played a massive role in regional geopolitics over the years. It was born out of the ideology of the Islamic Revolution in Iran, and has grown to be more than a proxy, but a partner of Tehran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in the wake of the assassination, said that Nasrallah's killing would change the balance of power in the region. And he also turned to Iran with his UN speech. Netanyahu pledged that Israel would do everything in its power to ensure that Iran does not weaponize its nuclear program. Why is this important for Armenia? Well, Iran is a major neighbor of Armenia, and in recent years has been one of the most vocal countries, if not the most vocal country, in defending Armenia's national sovereignty. As for Azerbaijan, well, Azerbaijan, an ally of Israel, who has relied on Israeli weapons in order to seize Armenian territory, has claimed it will not allow its country to be used to strike Iran. Israel is already present on the ground in occupied Artsakh, where 3 airfields have been built since 2020 on the border with Iran. Let's go now to a very different topic, the blessing of the Holy Muran at Holy Echmiadzin, which took place this weekend. Nari, Pashinyan and multiple high-ranking government officials actually attended this very sacred ceremony that, only takes place, I believe, every 7 years, or when there's a very special occasion to do such a blessing. I believe on the 100th anniversary of the genocide, they did a unique blessing, and this year it was for the consecration, or the reopening of the restored oldest church in Echmiadzin. Nare, let's listen to a clip of what Catholicos Garigintou said when he had a captive audience.
Որ մեր ապագան լինի բարոր ու հաղթական, արդ, ապրենք ու գործենք հոգևոր արթնությամբ, մեր պետությունը մեր ազգային կյանքը զորացնելու վեհ ու պայծառ տեսլականով, գոհունակ սրտով, հայրապետական մեր օրհնությունն ու բարձր գնահատանքն ենք բերում մեր եկեղեցու մեծանուն բարերարներին.
Nare, what was the essence of the Catholicos' message when he had all of these senior government people in attendance?
The message of the Catholicos was to proceed on the path to our national dreams, to follow our ancestors' example, to remember the sacrifices that were made for independent Armenia. And essentially, independent Armenian, sovereign Armenia, is a dream on guard of which the Armenian Church has been standing for a very long time, for around 1,700 years. And he talked about, guarding our homelands and just protecting it, about, proceeding in the direction that we were going on for a long time. And this goes against Pashinyan's New Armenia and is very much aligned with the rhetoric that we've also seen from Bagrat Sarpazan about how Artsakh also was not just a piece of land, it was a manifestation of all our goals and hopes for the future, and it was about turning the injustices of history around and starting a new page and guarding the Armenian.
Indeed. And let's talk about what is the next major event of Bagrat Sarpazan's movement?
The next big protest is scheduled for October 2nd on the Republic Square. And we will see how this new stage of the protests develops.
Indeed. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. Thank you so much, Nare, and we'll be back in touch next week. Be sure to follow Hairenik on YouTube at Hairenik, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Thank you all for joining.